What if I tell you that right now in today's market, thousands of traders are using the same exact strategy that once generated over $175 million in profits, and yet the majority of them are still losing money? The rules are not hidden, they are not expensive, and they are not difficult to understand also. In fact, they are publicly available in books, websites, and even basic articles that anyone can access. And still, people fail. Richard Dennis once said something very, very powerful. He said that he could publish his exact trading rules in a newspaper and still nobody would follow them. That statement sounds arrogant at first, frankly speaking, but when you observe traders closely, you'll realize it is brutally accurate. The system was never the problem. The real problem has always been human behavior. Because trading success is not about discovering a completely new strategy. It is about becoming the kind of person who can execute a very simple strategy without interfering with it emotionally, intellectually, and impulsively. Most traders don't lose because they don't know what to do. Actually, they lose because they cannot consistently do what they already know. Over time, when you study traders deeply, you start noticing a simple pattern again and again. The mistakes are not complex, they are not technical. They are extremely simple behaviors that feel intelligent in the moment but quietly destroy performance over the long run. The first mistake begins the moment a trader finds a working system. Instead of respecting that particular system's simplicity, the trader feels the urge to improve it. The logic sounds reasonable. If something works, maybe it can work even better. So, indicators are added, filters are introduced, confirmations are layered on top of each other. What started as a clean rule-based system, it became a complicated structure driven by personal opinions. But the data shows something very uncomfortable. Every time trader tried to improve a simple proven system, the performance deteriorated. Not because the system was flawed, but because the trader's ego entered into the process. Following a simple rule doesn't make you feel intelligent. Frankly speaking, you can tell this to yourself also. Modifying it does. And that need to feel intelligent is one of the most expensive emotions in trading. The second mistake is the illusion of prediction. Now, traders believe that their job is to forecast what will happen next. So when they see a breakout, instead of executing it, they start analyzing whether it looks strong enough, whether the volume supports it, whether the indicators confirm it, so on and so forth. Sometimes they are right and the trade fails, which reinforces their belief that they are thinking correctly. But what they fail to understand is that trading systems are not designed to be right frequently. They are designed to make money disproportionately when they are right. Even if a system is wrong more than half the time, it can still be extremely profitable if the winners are large enough. The moment you start filtering trades based on your opinion, you are no longer following a system, you are gambling with selective participation. And over a period of time, that destroys the entire mathematical edge of that particular strategy. Another major mistake comes from the need to stay active. Many traders equate activity with productivity. They feel that if they are not taking trades, they are missing opportunities. So they force trades, they overtrade, and they constantly look for something to do in the market. But the reality is that markets spend a large portion of the time moving randomly without any clear direction. In such conditions, the correct action is not to trade. However, doing nothing feels uncomfortable. It feels like I'm wasting my time. So traders choose action or discipline. And in doing so, they expose themselves to unnecessary risk. Professional traders understand that success in trading is not about doing more, it is about doing less, but doing it with precision and patience. One of the most damaging habits that almost every trader develops is taking profits too early. The moment a trade goes slightly into their favor, fear kicks in. The fear of losing unrealized profit becomes stronger than the desire let the trade grow. So they exit early, feeling satisfied that they secured a gain. But what they don't realize is that this is a habit completely destroy their risk reward structure. If your losses are equal to your profits, then even a small drop in your accuracy can make you unprofitable. The real edge in trading comes from allowing winners to grow significantly larger than your losers. That requires emotional strength because it means watching profits fluctuate without reacting impulsively. Closely related to this particular issue of stop loss discipline, traders often move their stop losses further away when the trade goes against them. They justify it by saying that they are giving the trade more room, but in reality, actually, they are avoiding the discomfort of accepting the loss. This behavior is extremely dangerous because it transforms a controlled risk into an unprofitable one or unpredictable one. A stop loss is not just a technical level, it is a commitment to risk management. It is a predefined point where you accept that your idea was wrong. The moment you start negotiating with that particular level, you are no longer trading with discipline. You are trading with hope, and hope has no place in a professional framework. In fact, hope is never a strategy. You also know that. Another psychological challenge that traders struggle with is handling drawdowns. Every profitable system goes through a period where it underperforms. This is not defect. It is a natural part of how market functions. Conditions change, volatility shifts, and trends comes and goes. But most of traders interrupt drawdowns as failures. They start doubting the system. They look for alternative systems and often they abandon the strategy entirely. What makes this even worse is that many systems perform best immediately after a difficult period actually. So by quitting during the drawdowns, traders position themselves perfectly to miss the recovery. Risk management is another area where emotions take over logic. Many traders increase their risk in an attempt to grow their capital faster. On paper, high risk seems attractive because it amplifies returns, but in practice, it also amplifies losses to a point where recovery becomes almost impossible. Trading is not just about making money, it is about staying in the game long enough to allow probabilities to work in your favor. If your risk per trade is high or too high, a normal losing streak can eliminate your account completely. And once that happens, no strategy can help you. There is also a very common behavioral pattern where traders add to losing positions and reduce exposure in winning positions. This feels intuitive because people naturally want to fix losing trades and protect winning ones. But mathematically, it is completely backwards. You are allocating more capital to your worst decisions and less to your best ones. Professional traders operate differently. They increase exposure only when the market confirms that they are right. They do not try to rescue losing trades because they understand that the market does not reward stubbornness. Another trap that traders fall into is the constant search for external information. They follow news, tips, opinions, and predictions, believing that this information will give them an edge. But the market is an extremely efficient system. By the time information reaches you, it has already been processed and reflected in price. This means that acting on news is often acting too late. The only reliable source of truth in trading is price itself because it incorporates everything: facts, expectations, and collective behavior, you may say. Finally, many traders become obsessed with optimizing their strategies. They test different parameters, tweak different rules, and refine conditions in an attempt to create a perfect system. The problem is that this optimization is based on historical data and markets are constantly evolving. A system that is perfectly tuned to the past often fails in the future because the conditions it was designed for no longer exist. Robust systems survive. Perfect systems don't. When you step back and look at all these mistakes, one thing becomes very clear. The challenge in trading is not the technical challenge, it is behavioral challenge. It is about managing your own impulses, own emotions, and own biases. Because at the end of the day, the system does not execute itself, you do. And if your behavior is inconsistent, no strategy can save you. So instead of constantly searching for a better system, a more advanced indicator, or a new approach, the real question you should have to be asking to yourself is whether you can follow a simple set of rules without any interference or not. Because if you can do that consistently, you don't need anything else. And if you cannot do that, then no system, no matter what, how powerful, will ever work for you. That's it for today. I will meet you in another one. Have a nice day. Jai Shivrai.